Welcome back, and let's get back to the evidence and the proof that's being denied you because of the Iron Curtain of censorship. Let's get right back into it. Now we get to the second part. Of the affidavits. These are two affidavits. One is from Andrew Cito, a poll challenger, and the other is from Melissa Carone, an employee of Dominion Voting Services. Dominion Voting Services was the company that was selected to count the ballots. Very, very strange selection since they're a foreign company. It's going to turn out to be a very strange selection when you learn all the facts about Dominion Voting Services and who financed it and where the money came from and where these votes went so they could be manipulated. But that's not part of this direct case right now. That'd be another case. Let me tell you what these two together say. First, Melissa Carone, not an employee of anybody, not a political person, worked for Dominion Voting Services. She says, I witnessed countless workers rescanning the batches without discarding them first, which resulted in ballots being counted 4 or 5 times. This is in the TCF Center in Detroit, where basically 8 out of every 10 votes was for Biden. Except it wasn't 8 out of every 10. It was 8 out of 10 falsely magnified by 4 or 5 times. Over 400 ballots were scanned, had gotten blocked, which means one batch was counted over 8 times. This happened countless times while I was at the center. I confronted my manager, Nick Okonomakis, saying how big of a problem this was. Nick told me he didn't want to hear that we have a big problem. He told me we are here to assist with IT work, not to run their election. I guess they're there also not to be citizens of the United States and report crimes. I overheard numerous workers talking during shift change in which over 20 machines had 2 Democrats judging the ballots, resulting in an unfair process. Then we have the most interesting thing of all, that Mr. Cito and Ms. Carone both would observe at the same time. So let's go to Ms. Carone's version first. Sometime around 4 a.m, there was 2 vans that pulled into the garage of the counting room. This is after most people had left and most Republicans had left because they thought it was over. The counting was over. And Trump was still ahead by about 130,000 votes, which they were extremely nervous about, say these witnesses. The 2 vans pulled up into the garage of the counting room. These vans appeared to be bringing food, but no food ever emerged from the vans. Instead, something like over 100,000 ballots came out of nowhere, not in the usual containers, in cardboard boxes, in bags, some of them falling out, and they're all thrown on a table. And it was announced that Michigan had discovered over 100,000 more ballots after they had counted all of the mail ballots. But 100,000 more were just discovered in the middle of the night. And when a worker, she observed, when a worker couldn't read it, or all they did is just throw it in, they didn't bother to observe it. They were just being thrown in. When there wasn't a name, the worker would sign the name of the person that the ballot belonged to, which is clearly illegal. There was a time I heard Samuel talking to Nick about losing tons of data. Ultimately, she called the FBI and made a report with them, and I was told I will be getting a call back. Needless to say, she didn't get a call back because this was overwhelming evidence of voter fraud by Democrats, not Republicans. Had it been Republicans, 10 FBI agents would have shown up immediately and seized the ballots. You know that. You know there's something seriously wrong with the upper echelon of our FBI. Now, just in case you don't believe her, even though she signed under penalties of perjury, why would a woman do that if it wasn't true? But there it is. And by the way, whether you believe it or not, it's evidence. They're lying to you when they say there's no evidence. This is evidence of systemic, pervasive voter fraud in the city of Detroit at such a level that it changed the numbers and made Biden the winner and not Trump, because we can count out at least 320,000 votes that were unlawful and illegal, including the 100,000 that came in at 4:30 in the morning. And there are more witnesses to that, by the way. I just gave you the 2 under oath. There are more witnesses to what I told you, that it definitely happened. This is very powerful evidence. So let's take a short break.